So today's video is going to be both short and simultaneously very important. I want to show you guys how to fold and stage a CAT tourniquet the right way and how to fold and stage a tourniquet the wrong way. So believe it or not, how you fold and stage your tourniquets is a really big deal, and it can be the difference between life or death in a patient you're applying this to or yourself. So today I want to go through how to stage these, how to fold these, and then also what are some of the main mistakes I've seen people doing and why we want to avoid them. So there are two main ways you can fold a tourniquet, and both ones work fine. It's just kind of your preference and how you have to store these. So the first way to fold a tourniquet, and this is kind of the classic way that you'll see on North American Rescue's website, is you have the tourniquet in front, the windlass up and down inside this bracket, the time strip pulled off to the side, and then in the back, it can just open like that, and you can put that around an extremity really fast. So I'll show you how to do this really quick. To fold this method, if you take the tourniquet and you've completely taken out the strap and everything, all you have to do is you feed the red tip through the first buckle, and you might have to play around with how big you make this initial loop, but you just play with it and figure out what works for you and what size it needs to be. So you pull it through the loop to a point, and then you fold it back on itself. As you do that and you have this loop here, I'm going to take this end and I'm going to fold this under the tourniquet about the length of this plastic portion to the buckle, and I'm going to fold this portion back on itself. I'm going to take the windlass, put it in the bracket, and make sure the time strip's pulled back. So then you have a nice little package here, and when you're ready to deploy it, it can come right off. You can pull this red tab and tighten it around an extremity really fast, and then tighten the windlass. So this is kind of the classic way to fold a tourniquet, and probably the most common, I'd say. Now, one of my friends who is a 68 whiskey for an infantry unit, he taught me this method, and this is how he was taught to fold CAT tourniquets, and there are some very specific reasons for it. So right off the bat, it looks pretty similar. The front is staged identically. But when you come to the back and you open it up, you actually have two loops inside of there, and this is barely attached to the tourniquet. So to fold it in this method, you pull everything out, and then you're going to take this first loop and you're going to bring it up to that buckle and fold it back down on itself. Then you do the same thing and you take the back end and you fold it to the top of that buckle and fold it down. And then you take the last section and you bring it up, and you're going to take it through this buckle only slightly and fold it back over. Now this offers a couple advantages to the first version I showed you. For one, this is already a lot bigger. So if you need to put this around a really big leg, you can open this up quite a lot more. The second thing this allows you to have is you don't have much Velcro attaching this. So you can really quick pop this out, take it off if you need to put it on a leg, or just take it off and tighten it really fast. The other advantage this gives you is while it's in that form factor, if you have to put this tourniquet in an enclosed pocket, either on the shoulder of your combat shirt or in a cargo pocket, you can take this red tip and this can actually hang outside of your pocket. So people around you know that you have a tourniquet on you. Obviously, this is only going to be a benefit if you work around people that actually know bleeding control and how to apply a tourniquet, such as military law enforcement. So probably a little bit less so for civilian use because people aren't going to know what that means. But if you have a unit and you've all decided that this is how you're going to store your tourniquets, it will be advantageous to you. Now that I've shown you the right ways to stage tourniquets, I want to show you some of the big problems I've seen and talk about why these are issues. So the first thing I see a lot of is people get a tourniquet and they pull it tight to store it. So they have a loop through here, they pull it tight, and then they just accordion fold the rest of the tourniquet back on there. At first glance, this looks very similar to how it was staged earlier, except that if you need to put this on, you have nothing. You have a very small opening to get in there, and you've got this really long tail. So putting this on your arm or your leg is going to be a lot harder than if you could just open it and have it the correct width. So this is the first mistake I see people make a lot. The second most common mistake I see, and I think a problem that's a pretty big deal, is having the time strip of your tourniquet deployed over your windlass. This is a big problem because the first thing you lose when you're under stress, and I guarantee you if you're applying a CAT tourniquet, you are under stress, is your fine motor skills. And trying to grab this tab right here and peel it off Velcro with just your 2 fingers, that is the definition of a fine motor skill. So you've taken the tourniquet, you've applied it on the arm, you've tightened it up as much as you can, and now you're trying to move the windlass, and you have to peel that back, push it over, tighten the windlass, and then redeploy it. That's a pretty big time sink, and it could be the difference between life or death, and there's really no reason to store your tourniquet like this. I know people think it looks a lot cleaner on their belts, but really that doesn't matter. Just pull this time tab over, fold it back on the tourniquet, and that'll just stay out of the way. A lot of companies are making tourniquet holders that actually keep this Velcro from tearing at your uniform. There's little shirt savers on the side, so you don't have to worry about this hard Velcro destroying your uniform or rubbing against your skin. That's pretty much all I've got for this video. If you have any questions about anything I covered today, please leave them in the comments down below. I'm leaving for vacation tomorrow, but I've pre-filmed a couple videos that I'm going to be releasing through the holiday season. I've got some gear reviews coming up, so if you need some help on a gift, maybe this will point you in the right direction. But like always, I appreciate all of your support, and I will see you next week.